Today we are going to talk about how to give your pet allergy shots. So when you start your pet on allergy shots, you will receive a 4-page handout that talks about everything you need to know to give your pet allergy shots. We're going to go through this handout now. Okay, so the first page is just why do we give allergy shots? And hopefully we've already talked about that in person. But the second page is how to use a syringe and how to draw serum out of a glass vial. So first, the syringe. All right, so this is the syringe. Open it up. Okay, here's the syringe. So the syringe has 4 parts: the plunger, the barrel, the needle, and the cap. When you measure serum or fluid using the syringe and needle, you line the top of the base up with the biggest line next to the number that you're trying to measure to. So if I were going to measure 0.1 milliliters, I would draw the plunger down to here, lining the top of the base of the plunger up with the biggest line that's next to the 0.1. If I were to measure 0.3, I'd line the top of the base of the plunger up with the biggest line that's next to the 0.3. If I were going to measure a full 1 milliliter, on this syringe, it's all the way down here. Now, the syringe is labeled in milliliters, but you can also use the term, or you'll also see the term cc used. Cc and milliliter is the same. So, all right, now, things about this syringe. When this syringe comes out of the package, I will frequently find that the needle is a little loose on the barrel. So one of the first things that you should do when you're preparing to draw serum out of the glass vial is kind of tighten the needle up onto the barrel of the syringe. Now the caps are always tight on these. So when you are going to take the cap off, grasp the base of the needle, just kind of wiggle that cap off. There, I told you it was tight. There, okay. So now we got the needle on tight and the cap on loose. Okay. Now, we have our serum. You'll receive a set of serum that will have 3 vials. They will be labeled vial 1, vial 2, and vial 3. You'll notice that there will be a color gradient. Vial 1 is going to be the lightest. That's because it's the weakest strength. Vial 2 is medium strength, and vial 3 is the darkest, and this is full strength. Now, these vials are going to match up with a calendar. So, on the first day that you start your pet's allergy shots, you will receive a calendar. And the calendar is going to be divided out vial 1, vial 2, and vial 3. And the calendar tells you what day you give your pet a shot, from what vial you give it, and how much you give on that day. So let's see here. So the first day, let's see, on this calendar, the first day The dose that I've recommended for the pet is 0.1 cc's or milliliters. So that's from vial 1. So what we'll do is we'll take our vial 1, take my cap off my needle. All right, I got my vial 1 here. I'm going to turn it upside down, and I am going to insert the needle into the rubber cap, and I am going to draw the plunger down until the base of the plunger lines up with the biggest line by the 0.1. All right, looks like I got an air bubble in here. Now, to get rid of an air bubble, all I have to do is kind of tap the barrel of the syringe to kind of get the air bubble to go up to the top. And then I'll maybe push the air bubble in and try drawing back fluid again. There I got it with, I've withdrawn 0.1 milliliters and there's no air bubbles in there. So that's good. All right, so let's see here on my calendar, and if you have your calendar, you can follow along here. So the first day on the calendar, we give our first amount on this calendar, it's 0.1, and then we skip a day, so no shot that day. The day after, we're going to give a little more. The day after, we're going to give 0.2. The calendar skips a day after that, and then the next dose is 0.4, skips a day. Dose after that is 0.8, skips a day, and then the dose is 1 milliliter. Now, what you'll notice here is, so for vial 1, you give a shot every other day, and the dose increases each time. For cats and small dogs, I generally recommend a maximum dose of 0.5. So if you have a cat or a small dog, your calendar will max out at 0.5 milliliters. For medium to larger size dogs, we'll typically go all the way up to 1 milliliter. Now, after we have finished our vial 1 column, we will go over to vial 2, and we'll notice that the calendar, the pattern starts over. We'll notice that on the first dose from vial 2, we're going to give 0.1 milliliters again. Skips a day, and the dose increases to 0.2. Skips a day, and then the dose increases again to 0.4, and so on. And you'll notice that the calendar for vial 2 has you giving an injection every other day, and the dose increases each time. Then we go over to vial 3, and the pattern starts over again. The first dose from vial 3 is 0.1 milliliters, so that small amount again. And you give your pet the injection every other day until kind of around, you'll notice on this little part of your calendar, until you notice that the pattern changes. So eventually, after giving your pet a shot for about a month, every other day for a month, then the pattern changes to every 10 days. So now we give, on this calendar, this pet is receiving 1 milliliter or 1 cc. So we worked all the way up to 1 milliliter in vial 3, and now we're stretching the dose frequency out to every 10 days. So it goes at 1 milliliter every 10 days until this part of your calendar, you'll notice that it is going to eventually stretch out to every 20 days. And now your pet is receiving 1 milliliter every 20 days. Right around here is about day 88. That's approximately when I'm going to need to see your pet again. So, all right. So that's our allergy shot calendar. Now, a couple of tips about using a syringe. Let's see here. I guess one, always make sure that the needle is snug on the syringe. When you draw serum out of the glass vial, after you've withdrawn kind of a lot of serum, it starts to create a vacuum in the glass vial, and then it can start to get hard to withdraw serum out because there's this vacuum. So if you notice that it's getting kind of hard to get the serum out, you can actually just inject air into the vial, and then that alleviates the vacuum and you can withdraw serum again more easily. For pets who are prescribed 1 full milliliter as their maximum dose, we also send home larger syringes. So on this size syringe, to give 1 milliliter, you have to like draw it all the way out like this, and this is kind of awkward for your hand. So we do have larger syringes. We have larger syringes that can hold 3 milliliters. So if you have to give your pet 1 milliliter of serum, you only have to draw it out this far, and that's kind of more comfortable. So you can always let the staff know which size syringe you prefer. Let's see, other things about using a syringe. Oh, you know what? So these are supposed to be kept in the refrigerator, and when you withdraw the serum from the vial, it's going to be chilly, refrigerator temperature. It's not very comfortable for your pet to receive a cold injection. So once you've withdrawn the fluid, warm it up a little bit in your hand. That'll make it more comfortable for your pet. Okay, so we've gone over the syringes, the vials, the calendar. We'll show you in person how to actually give your pet an injection. But next I want to talk about allergic reactions, and that's going to be on the back of your 4-page handout. So it's important to know that allergy shots are always supposed to make your pet feel better. If they ever make your pet feel worse, that means the dose is too high for your pet. And I need to know about that. Our staff needs to know about that, okay? So if the allergy shot ever makes your pet feel more itchy, or if your pet ever just seems to feel kind of off after receiving the shot, give the clinic a call. Now, we need to talk about allergic reactions here. So it is possible, but uncommon, for your pet to have an allergic reaction to their allergy shot. Now, if an allergic reaction occurs, it will be within 1 hour of receiving the shot. So if it's going to happen, it's going to happen right away, okay? If an allergic reaction occurs, it's almost impossible for your pet to have an allergic reaction in vial 1. If we have an allergic reaction, it's probably going to be when we're kind of reaching those higher doses from vial 3. So once we kind of get into vial 3, really watch your pet, okay? Now, here's what to watch for. If your pet gets itchier after receiving its allergy shot, you might be having an allergic reaction. If you have a dog, you should give your dog Benadryl, and we will have the dose of Benadryl written on your handout here. You might notice that if you have a dog, you might notice some swelling or heat at the site of the allergy shot. So like if you give your dog an allergy shot and he's like suddenly getting really itchy and he's scratching his allergy shot site a lot, and you put your hand there and it feels kind of warm and a little swollen, oh, he's actually having a little allergic reaction. Let's give him some Benadryl. Sometimes dogs will break out in hives. What that looks like is puffy eyelids, puffy lips. Sometimes you'll see these little raised bumps like down the legs or going down the back or on the tummy. If this happens, give your dog some Benadryl and call the clinic. It is rare that this is ever actually an emergency and your dog just needs some Benadryl. And then for sure, we need to reduce the amount of allergy serum that your dog receives for its next allergy shot. Cats can have allergic reactions kind of a little differently, in that they can still have some itchiness after receiving their allergy shot. If you see your cat itch after getting its allergy shot, call the clinic. We might need to reduce the dose. Cats can have swelling of their airways if they have a severe allergic reaction. So for cats, we'll always send you home with some steroid to give if you suspect that your cat may be having an allergic reaction to its allergy shot. We'll make sure you have some steroid to give to your cat to stop that allergic reaction right away. And then be sure to give the clinic a call if you think your pet might have had an allergic reaction. Dogs don't really have trouble with airways swelling, but a dog can have an anaphylaxis, a severe allergic reaction. So if you ignored those early signs of an allergic reaction, like you noticed that your dog got itchy after its allergy shot and broke out into hives, but you never called me and told me about it and just totally ignored it and just kind of kept going and giving the shot, well, then we could actually have a severe allergic reaction occur. And every once in a while, there'll be someone who's really sensitive who will have a severe allergic reaction without any of those warning signs. That's pretty rare, but this is what to watch for. If your dog starts to become very lethargic and acts really tired within an hour of receiving the allergy shot, if your dog suddenly has a vomit or suddenly poops, like kind of unexpectedly and randomly within an hour of receiving the allergy shot, if your dog is also breaking out in hives and just doesn't seem right, well, give your dog Benadryl and bring your dog to the clinic. Bring it to see me, your primary care clinic, the emergency clinic, whoever is open and available. We need to give your dog a steroid shot and probably a Benadryl shot and maybe some fluids. But don't worry, your dog's airways are not going to close up. So cats, we make sure you have some steroids on hand so that you can treat that right away if you need to. Allergic reactions are very rare and generally managed simply with Benadryl at home for dogs or a steroid shot at home for cats. But they're important to watch for and know what to look for, because if an allergic reaction occurs, it means that the shot dose is too high and your pet will do better if we reduce it. So definitely let the clinic staff know if you think that has occurred. Okay, good. So we have covered allergy shots here, the syringe, the vials, the calendar, allergic reactions. So the next thing is we'll show you how to actually administer the injection. So I'm glad your pet is starting allergy shots, and everyone at the clinic is always here for you. We're here to help. So